Just minutes before giving birth and fainting, this woman confessed a dark and terrible secret to her husband. His reaction was nothing short of shocking. Ashley and Joe's love story started when they were young. Both came from humble beginnings. At 15, Joe's took on various menial jobs to support himself and his ailing mother, while 12-year-old Ashley lived with her grandmother, Mary. Mary struggled to provide for Ashley, and there were days when they had nothing to eat. On one of those days, Ashley left the house in tears and wandered the streets. That's when she met Jose, who lived on the same street. He offered her some snacks and walked her home. The next day, Ashley was surprised when Joe's came early to her house and brought breakfast. That was how their friendship started. Joe's took care of Ashley and treated her like a princess. It didn't take long before they developed strong feelings for each other, and when Ashley turned 15, Joe's asked her to be his girlfriend. "I want you to always love me, and please hide nothing from me, no matter what it is." "I promise I will never leave you," he told her, and she said, "I promise." Unfortunately, a few years later, she would break this promise. How could she forget this precious moment? How could she even doubt his love and hide such a big secret from him? But before we judge, wait until you hear her part of the story. After Jose and Ashley graduated high school, Jose made a bold decision. He asked Ashley to continue her studies while he worked so he could pay for her education. Ashley applied to the School of Communication to fulfill her dream of becoming a journalist. Ashley was so grateful for Jose's support and loved him with all her heart. She focused on her studies to make him proud. When Ashley was in her final year, Jose took her out on a dinner date. He pulled out a beautiful ring and asked her to marry him. Ashley was so excited and swore to do everything to make him happy. "You are mine forever," she told him. They planned to marry a few months after graduation. They thought their love was indestructible, but things were about to fall apart, and it would get very messy. Months later, Ashley finally finished her college education at the top of her class. She also received some good news from her lecturer, Nancy. Nancy told Ashley that a media company needed a journalist to cover local news, but if she accepted the job, she would have to travel to a different city. Ashley didn't mind this at all. She was so excited and felt it was a great way to kickstart her career. She told Jose about the job, and as usual, he was happy for her. He supported her and even helped pack her luggage. Jose couldn't accompany her because of his work, so it would be the first time they would be apart for such a long time. However, Jose trusted Ashley and their unbreakable love for each other. "I will only be gone for 4 months, and then I'll return. So please wait for me, my love," Ashley said at the airport. Then she kissed him goodbye. But just 2 months after she left, Ashley suddenly returned. Jose was surprised to see her and asked why she hadn't told him she was coming, but she said she wanted to surprise him. When he asked about the job, she said nothing. She showed no excitement about seeing him, and when he tried to hug her, she told him she felt sweaty, very tired, and needed to sleep. Jose understood how she felt, so he gave her some time. However, things only got worse. Ashley looked for the slightest reason to stay away from Jose, and she barely showed love. That's when Jose suspected something may have happened during her trip. Perhaps letting her go was a big mistake, he feared. One night, they were having dinner when Ashley suddenly started gasping and passed out. Jose quickly rushed her to the hospital, where he learned she was 2 months pregnant. He was surprised because they hadn't even been intimate since she returned. However, Ashley told him she had already been pregnant before she left, and he believed her. Jose was so happy he would be a father, and he loved Ashley even more. Sadly, there was more to the story. During the pregnancy, Ashley fainted a few more times. She felt weak and often complained of chest pain, but the doctors thought it was just pregnancy symptoms. What an unfortunate mistake. Jose continued working hard and started buying things for the baby, but Ashley showed no enthusiasm. Instead, she locked herself in the bedroom, pulled the curtains down, and cried her eyes out. Whenever Jose knocked on the door, she would scream at him and ask him to leave. One day, when he came to knock as usual, she got so angry that she yelled at him and told him she didn't want to marry him. Those words crushed Jose's heart. When he told the doctor about Ashley's behavior, the doctor advised him to give her some time, suggesting that pregnancy hormones were affecting her. Josie listened to the doctor's advice and continued to support Ashley. In the 9th month, Ashley's water broke and Josie rushed her to the hospital. They had both planned for a natural birth and had agreed that Josie would be present in the delivery room. However, that day, Ashley kept crying and didn't want Josie in the room. Thinking it was labor pain, Josie understood and stayed in the waiting room. There, he kept pacing around, hoping for some good news. 5 minutes later, a doctor approached Josie and told him his wife was in a critical state and might not survive. They needed to perform an emergency C-section, and Ashley had requested to see him before the surgery. When Josie got to the operating room, he sat beside his wife, held her hands and said, "My love, you asked for me, and I'm here." Ashley was very weak. She couldn't even open her eyes, but she managed to say these words before she fainted. "Josie, this child is not yours." Tears streamed down Josie's face immediately after those words left her mouth. He was devastated, as if his heart was about to force itself out of his chest. When Josie finally found his voice, he said, "Did you think I was joking when I said I love you? I love every bit of you. This child came from you, so I don't care if he isn't mine. I love him just as much. So please, don't leave me and our child. Please fight for your life." He held her hands even tighter, proving that his love was strong enough to forgive her. The surgeons started the C-section, and a few minutes later, their boy, Caleb, was born. Unfortunately, Ashley went into cardiac arrest. Although the doctors stabilized her, tests showed she had coronary artery disease. Her case was so severe that the doctors had to place her in a coma, and the only thing that could save her was a heart transplant. With nowhere else to turn, Joseph set up his phone camera in front of him and began recording. Through tears, he explained everything that had happened, from the day he met Ashley to the present moment. He then asked the whole world for help. "Please help me save her," he wept and shared the video online. The video received a lot of love and even caught the attention of an organ donation organization. This organization linked Ashley to a compatible donor, and the surgery was successful. When Ashley finally opened her eyes, the first person she saw was her husband, smiling brightly and holding little Caleb in his arms. "I don't care if he isn't my blood. I love both of you as if my life depends on it," Josie assured her. Through tears, hugs, and kisses, Ashley finally shared the rest of the story with her husband. The owner of the newspaper agency had deceived her, promising a better job in exchange for sleeping with him. But Ashley had refused his offer, standing her ground despite the pressure. Afterward, he pretended to accept her decision, but one day he went into her office, locked the door, and assaulted her. When Ashley returned, she tearfully apologized to Josie, admitting her shame and saying that, after what had happened, she felt unworthy of his love. Josie was devastated to hear about her struggles, but he assured her they were in this together and promised to help her heal. With his support, Ashley began therapy and made a full recovery, with Josie by her side every step of the way. Today, the couple is living life to the fullest with their son, and it's clear nothing will ever come between them. They truly are a match made in heaven. I'm really keen to know your thoughts on this story, so please don't hesitate to share your insights in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more similar content. Feel free to share this video. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm excited to connect with you in our future videos.